Welcome to History with Master Squishies. In today's video, we'll be covering the history of the Sturmtiger. We'll be going over who made it, the design, what nations used it, some of the battles that took place in, and how it performs in-game. To start off with, the Sturmtiger, or officially the Sturmmoserwagen 606/4 MIT 38cm RW61, was a German assault gun designed in 1943 to 1944 and produced in 1943 to 1945 by Alcat with a total production number of 18. The nickname Sturmtiger was later on given to the Sturmmoserwagen. The Sturmtiger was developed after the Battle of Stalingrad when a need for a heavy infantry support vehicle was realized. This support vehicle was needed for destroying heavily fortified buildings in an urban area. At the time, the Sturm Infantry Geschütz 33B and the new Sturmpanzer IV were the only two up-to-date infantry support vehicles, and the need for a more heavily armed and armored vehicle was expressed. This new heavy support vehicle was the Sturmmoserwagen, which was designed by using the Tiger I chassis and was to have a 210mm howitzer. But due to the lack of 210mm howitzers available, it was replaced by a 300mm rocket mortar, which was adapted from a depth charge launcher. By February 20th, 1944, the first three Sturmtiger hulls were completed, but production would stop until April 19th, 1944, with 3 production series Sturmtigers being completed in August 1944, 10 being completed in September 1944, and 5 more in December 1944. The Sturmtiger was supposed to fight in urban areas, and therefore, the armor was increased from 100mm on the Tiger I chassis to 150mm and sloped to a 47-degree angle. The Sturmtiger could hold a maximum of 14 rockets, 12 rockets in the fighting compartment storage, 1 in the loading tray, and 1 already loaded. The barrel and the rocket design did cause some problems for the tank itself. The biggest issue was the barrel ventilation. The barrel had poor ventilation, causing it to heat up beyond its operational range. To help fix this, small holes were drilled from the front to the back to let the heat escape. This gave the barrel a pepper shaker look. The reloading is also a major issue for the crew. The tank was fitted with a crane to help load the rockets, but it took all 5 crew members to operate the crane, grab the rocket, swing it into position, push it from the tray to the breech, and lock it down. The Sturmtiger also had a small grenade launcher, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the name of, but it was mounted on the roof and could fire a variety of ammo. The Sturmtiger was equipped with a frontal superstructure, mounted with a 380mm RW61 rocket launcher L/5.4, a secondary MG34, and an auxiliary roof-mounted grenade launcher. At a maximum of 150mm of armor and a minimum of 28mm of armor. It had a crew of 5, a weight of 68 tons, a length of 6.28 meters or 20.7 feet, a width of 3.57 meters or 11.9 feet, a height of 2.85 meters or 9.4 feet, and a max speed of 25 miles per hour. Next, we'll move on to its operational history. The Sturmtiger was only used by Germany and was intended to be an offensive infantry support tank and to fight in urban environments. By the time the Sturmtiger was fielded, Germany was on the defensive instead of the offensive. The Sturmtiger saw combat in the Warsaw Uprising, which is the only time the Sturmtiger was used in an offensive role. After this, the Sturmtiger was put onto the Western Front. During the battle for the bridge, the Sturmtiger was supposed to use its rockets against the bridge itself. However, this was quickly abandoned due to the lack of accuracy to hit the bridge. The only on-record use of any Sturmtigers being used in a tank-to-tank encounter was when a Sturmtiger hit a group of stationary Shermans in a village nearby, resulting in all the Shermans being destroyed or disabled. Finally, we'll move on to how it performs in War Thunder versus how it performed historically. In-game, the Sturmtiger is almost perfect. The armor is pretty much right, with the maximum being 150mm and the minimum being 25mm, which is 3mm off from where it should be at 28mm. The main gun is right, with it being a 380mm RW61 rocket launcher, but it's missing its secondary MG34 machine gun. Finally, the speed is right, with it being 25 miles per hour. All in all, the Sturmtiger is really well done. The only two things I can suggest is that the secondary MG34 be added and usable, and that the grenade launcher be added to all vehicles that had it as an auxiliary gadget like smoke grenades. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, squish that like button, subscribe, and let me know what you want to hear about next. I'll see you in the next one.